All right, so we got a trade. Um, this one is kind of interesting to me. It's interesting for a few reasons. So what we have is DeLon Wright from the Detroit Pistons is now going to the Sacramento Kings for two second round picks and Corey Joseph. Now, for me, the first thing that came to mind was DeLon Wright is playing really, really, really well. Now, even though he doesn't do anything spectacular, he does score a little bit, assist a little bit, steal a little bit, rebound a little bit. You get the point. Like he's doing a lot of everything every night, all around stuff, and he's getting better. He's getting better and better and better. So you like the idea that he's getting top minutes. But you also understand that the Detroit Pistons have point guards there. Even though uh, the guy that they want to kind of invest in is unfortunately out for the season, from what I understand, his rehab is going well. The guy that they got in the second round, their seventh pick in the draft, their lottery pick, Hayes, I believe is his name, Killian Hayes. So he didn't have a good start to his rookie season, but of course, I mean, he's a kid. They really, really believe in him, and I can see why picking up DeLon Wright was a good thing to have, but now they could turn that into some value, and I'm not mad at them for trading it. So I think that's an okay move for the Pistons. They got back good value for him. I would have loved to have seen them maybe get back a first round pick instead of 2 seconds, but for what it's worth, it makes sense. It's not bad. Now the Sacramento Kings got a lot better, got a lot deeper, but the thing that I look at when I think about the Kings is the fact that they now have four guards that are going to demand a lot of minutes in DeLon Wright, Buddy Yield, De'Aaron Fox, and Tyrese Halliburton. Now Halliburton's been in and out in the lineup, and uh, you know when he's out there, he's fantastic. Thing about DeLon Wright is he and Halliburton pretty much do similar things, and what you're gonna find is when those two are on the floor, they're gonna be locking people up. So for me, the first thing that comes to mind is the Kings got significantly better defensively. And you look at De'Aaron Fox, who's already really good defensively. You look at DeLon Wright, defensive. You look at Halliburton again, defensive. And suddenly you're like, okay, they're going to be clamping guards. Like if I'm Denver, I don't really want to deal with them because Jamal Murray's going to have to deal with these guards that are going to be clocking him up, etc. So if Sacramento is a team like I said, if you have one of those leading guards, a Dame Lillard, CJ, and those guys, they got guys that they're going to throw out there that they're looking to attack you with defensively. So it's going to be interesting. I like DeLon Wright for them. Now the question is, do they have too many guards in rotation with a coach that is known for poor rotations? That's the issue. You can give Luke Walton all the best players in the world, but for some reason or another, he's going to find a way to put the worst combination of them on the floor and leave them out there and forget that they're out there almost. It's like that's the Luke Walton that I've known. And I watched him for several years. Was not impressed, not at all. One of the worst coaches we've had in that regard. But he did get good things out of young players, and you see that also in Sacramento. So, you got to give him credit where it's due. But in terms of just rotations and just winning basketball games, he tends to be a deterrent to that. So that's just how I see it. I think Sacramento is going to find themselves in a situation where they're still not going to get the most out of what they have because of him. So I think that ultimately would be their downfall, but they do have a lot of talent they're accumulating, and it seems like they're making smart moves. Um, Now, going forward, I hear that they're also possibly looking to um, deal Harrison Barnes maybe to the Boston Celtics. I'm hearing that may be a pick involved in that, and possibly a young player, Robert Naismith, I think his name is, young shooter. Might have got his first name wrong, but if that deal is to come to pass, I don't think that would be the best move for the Sacramento Kings because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get better, which it looks like they're doing by getting a guy like DeLon Wright who's going to help them, then getting rid of Harrison Barnes and turning him into picks is kind of counterproductive to the move that they just made. So I don't see them doing something like that. Um, but it's obvious that the Sacramento Kings are trying to get better. It looks like they believe they can be a playoff team, and with Rashawn Holmes playing so well, even though Marvin Bagley is out, he's kind of starting to play better himself. It just seems like they're a team that's on the rise. They believe in themselves. So at this point, I don't think they may be done dealing. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I think the Detroit Pistons side of this also, what's noteworthy is for the rest of the season, you'll now see more Dennis Smith Jr. He did get a brief opportunity while DeLon Wright was out with injury to come in and show us that he still has game, that he's still capable of putting up numbers. So at this point, I think they'll give him the ball again with the Detroit Pistons. And unless there's another deal to bring a point guard in, I think it's going to be his for the rest of the season. So I think he went down with something. I wasn't really sure what that was. It could have been the COVID protocol. I don't really know. But DeLon Wright has since returned. Not DeLon Wright, excuse me. Dennis Smith Jr. has since returned for the Detroit Pistons. And I think he's going to have a good ending to his season. I think you're going to see him play well. So that should be interesting. Now, pay attention to that. I don't think Corey Joseph is going to make a big splash on the Detroit Pistons. I don't particularly know what he brings to the table at this stage of his career. I haven't seen him really do a whole lot. He's kind of fallen to the back of the benches of teams that he's been on. Obviously, like I said, Sacramento had plenty of point guards. He just probably was in the back of the rotation most of the time. So I don't think he's really something that they're really considering. I think more so it was about getting the 2 second-rounders for Detroit, and opening up that spot for Dennis Smith and Killian Hayes. So, yeah, that's what I got to say, man. It has begun. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.